Kristen and Lita are two of the newest engines working on the Southern United Railroad. Kristen is a 280 consolidation, while Lita is a 462 Pacific type locomotive. Kristen handles a mixture of freight and passenger trains, while Lita is mostly assigned to passenger trains. And they're both assigned to the high priority mail trains that run up and down the main line. Larry is very welcoming of newcomers and became fast friends with the two engines. One afternoon, Larry was at one of the many cement plants along the Denville branch. On this particular day, the cover hoppers were being very foolish. Larry was finding it hard to move them. "Oh, come on, you idiots," he groaned. "That's not a nice way to ask." "All right, move now." "Not nice enough," they chuckled. Larry was quickly losing patience. "All right, how about move before I rip you apart bolt by bolt?" "Is that a threat?" said the hoppers, pretending to be scared. "No, it's a promise," groaned Larry. While Larry was fighting the hoppers, Kristen and Lita came puffing by. "Such a shame," sighed Kristen. "Larry can't move simple hopper cars." "Larry, this is embarrassing," added Lita. "We thought you were better than this." "I suppose you could do better," Larry panted. "We probably could," teased Kristen. "But right now we have another job to do," Lita said. "Goodbye," and they puffed away. As they departed, the cover hoppers laughed even louder at Larry. Larry just blew off steam furiously. Eventually, Larry got the hoppers to move and was on his way. At the next station, he saw Kevin. "Oh, Larry, I was getting worried. Where have you been?" "Stuck at the cement works," he huffed, and then explained about the hoppers, Kristen, and Lita. "They don't know you that well," explained Kevin. "They don't know what you're really capable of." "You're right," Larry replied. "They don't know." And he steamed away. A few days later, Miss Caldwell arrived with news of a special for Larry. "A barge has damaged part of a pier at Glendale Seaport. I need you to take some rock down there. And also," "Don't worry, Miss Caldwell. I'll get right on it tomorrow." "Can I finish, please?" she said, looking very annoyed. I'm sorry, ma'am," stuttered Larry. You were saying?" "Kristen and Lita will help you. You'll each take a train of stone." "Yes, ma'am," Larry obliged, but he was upset. He didn't want Kristen and Lita to help him. "They'll think I can't handle the job on my own," he said to himself. But then Larry got an idea. Early the next morning, before the sun had even come up, Larry was at the quarry. He bustled about loading and pushing the hoppers into place. Once the train was ready, his driver looked back. "I don't like the looks of this," he told him. "It's not like I took all 3 trains," Larry said to his driver. "I left them some freight cars. I just took the majority of them." Larry's driver knew that once Larry had his mind set on something, it was hard to change it, so reluctantly went along with it. Larry gave a heave, and slowly but surely, the hopper cars followed. A few hours later, Kristen and Lita arrived at the quarry. They looked around. "I wonder where Larry is," Kristen wondered. "He could be on the other side of the quarry," suggested Lita. "Excuse me," called Kristen to the diesel switcher. "Have you seen Larry anywhere?" "Oh, he left hours ago with a long train of stone behind him," the diesel told them. Lita and Kristen eyed each other with concerned looks. "Come on, Lita," said Kristen. "We have to find Larry. He could be in real trouble." Meanwhile, Larry had arrived at Piscataway Station to take on water. After that was the hill. Larry, leave some of these cars on the siding. There's nothing wrong with tripling the hill, his driver said. This side of the hill has a gentler climb, Larry protested. I can handle it. After Larry's tender was filled and his fireman gave him a good head of steam, he started the climb. Now Larry was correct. That side of the hill did have a gentler climb, but he had a lot of weight on his drawbar and forgotten that he had had trouble on this side of the hill with a rock train before. Larry was doing okay, I had to admit. He moved at a slow but steady pace, but it wasn't to last. Just then, Larry lost grip on the rails, and it was all over from there. No, he groaned. Come on. Larry was moving forward at a snail's pace until he finally stalled halfway up the hill. Then, he began to roll backwards. His driver quickly applied the brakes, but it was no use. Help! Cried Larry. Help! But there was nothing anyone could do. The heavy cars was pulling Larry backwards down the hill. Larry was sure he was headed straight for disaster. Then suddenly, from behind him, he felt a bump and a jolt. We've got you, Larry, called Kristen. Just keep pulling, called Lita. Larry's driver put his throttle to the roof, and the train began to move forward again. 3 columns of steam poured into the air as they struggled up the hill. And at last they reached the summit. We've done it, cried Larry. We've done it. Hooray, cried Kristen and Lita from behind. After setting up retainers, they brought the train carefully downhill. Then they proceeded along the coast until finally they arrived at Glendale Seaport. Thank you for helping me back there, Larry said. You're welcome, replied Kristen, but why'd you take so many freight cars in the first place? It was because you two teased me the other day. I wanted to prove to you both that I'm not a weak engine, and I'm strong and useful. But Larry, soothed Lita, Kristen and I do think you're useful and reliable. We were just having fun. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. We're very sorry, added Kristen. That's all right, replied Larry with a smile. And I'm sorry I was rude. I guess my ego was a little bruised since those hoppers were giving me so much trouble. It's okay, we understand, smiled Kristen. Well, sighed Larry, I don't know about you two, but I'm tired. Let's go back to the sheds. I'm with you on that, agreed Lita, and her and Kristen followed Larry. They were happy they had got the job done, but most of all, they were happy to be friends.